Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 73 of Magnificent Mondays. And this week we're doing Space Cowboys. Not Steve Miller Band to be seen. It is Steve Miller Band, isn't it, that does that one? You know that one. Some call me Maurice, that one. Whatever. It's Clint Eastwood and Tommy Lee Jones and Donald Sutherland and James Garner in this, which is it's an amazing film. I've just finished watching it not an hour ago. And it's really, really good. From the year 2000. I didn't realise it was so old. I thought it was, newer than that. So we're in its 25 silver, silver anniversary, isn't it? Right. So there we go. There's the DVD, the Blu-ray I watched earlier on Space Cowboys. It's not bad. Not a bad Blu-ray. It's got a few special features on, but like short, not documentaries. What they call them? Documentaries, featurettes. That's the word. But no commentaries or anything like that. Not on the Blu-ray anyway. But anywho, never mind. Right, before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe and share the videos and drop a comment. Hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. That'll tell you when I start new streams or upload videos or do whatever you do on YouTube. Become a member on YouTube, and then you can get early access to some videos and some exclusive videos as well, as well as exclusive emojis in the chat. It's not members only chat this week. I'm still experimenting with subscriber only chat. So if you've been a subscriber for a month or more, you can join in the live chat as well, and you're very welcome. Is that it? Description. Links in the description for various things, such as me books. There we go. Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats eating people in the North Yorkshire village, and Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff, and the moon and comets and all sorts of stuff happens in it. It's all cool and exciting and maybe a little bit funny in places. They're on Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. Wingrace says time, and welcome Wingrace. Says time for a sequel. Time Cowboys. Don't know. Well, James Garner's no longer with us, is he? And they're all getting on a bit. They were getting on a bit when they made this 25 years ago, weren't they? They're even more getting on a bit now. Should get Toby Stevens back, but we'll get to that when we start watching the film. Right, is that it? Oh, we're live on YouTube. Let me check. Yes, we are live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble, and we're live on Twitch. Yes, we are. Right, cool. Right, so Space Cowboys from the year 2000, directed and starring Clint Eastwood. He didn't originally want to direct this because I don't think he had a great time directing Firefox, which was his last big effects movie, way back in 1982, I think it was. He doesn't like doing films with a lot of special effects in, apparently. Well, back in 2000 he didn't. Before the millennium he didn't, but he got talked into it, so he decided to do it. Also, as I said, Tommy Lee Jones, Donald Sutherland, James Garner. We've also got James Cromwell, Marcia Gay Harden, William Devane, who was just chewing gum all the way through the film, Courtney B. Vance, Lauren Dean, and that's about it really. Had a budget of $60 to $65 million, box office of, we'll say 130. It's near enough. So it did okay, and it got pretty good reviews. A lot of people seem to like this film, and I can see why, because it's a really good film. It's a light-hearted adventure about some old geezers that go into space. I think Clint Eastwood called it his title for the film or something like Geezer Power or something like that. Bless him. But anyway, careful, Fox, fire is hot. See, I've said something and I don't know. Oh, why Firefox? Yes, Firefox. Wingrace and his puns. We did Firefox a while ago, didn't we? On Magnificent Mondays. I think we did. A while back. That was another cool film. Again, starring and directed by Clint Eastwood. And he's still at it, he's still doing films. Has he done his last one? I think he's directed his last film, hasn't he? He's retiring. Let me check. See what it says. I'm sure I saw that somewhere. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Right, let's see what it says. Right, oh, it just says it has been rumoured that Juror Number 2, which is his latest film from 2023, may be Eastwood's final directorial role. I mean, he is. How old is he now? When was he born? Hang on. 1930. So he's 95 years old this year. So if he does want to step back, I think now's the time, isn't it? Anyway, so bless him. Best in his current pictures, I can't imagine he'd be making any more. I haven't seen a Clint Eastwood director film for ages. I'm trying to think. I don't think the last film directed by Clint Eastwood what I saw. It might have been $1 Million Baby. Or no, I don't know because I don't know what order they're in. He did them 2 war films, didn't he? Flags of Our Fathers and the other one. So it might be one of those. I meant how he looks. Photographs. Well, let's say he's 95. Anyway. Right, so we'll get on with this film, shall we? We'll be watching it in the series of stills. We'll not be watching the film. Again, I'll reiterate, I did last time on, I think, Appointment with Fear. I reiterated that I can't just play the film because YouTube would go mental. It goes mental anyway. I'm always getting copyright claims and I can never add. I forgot the term. They're unsure whether ad suitability. That's it. Ad suitability notices. But anyway, but we should be okay with this one because there's no nudity and there's no swearing, there's no violence. There's a punch up. There's no gore or anything like that in it. But anyway, but if you want to watch the film, it is available on YouTube to buy or rent. Hang on, I'll show you. There it is. It's available on YouTube to buy, at least in the UK. It's available on YouTube to buy or rent. Or it's on, there we go. It's on Prime Video in the UK to buy or rent for only £3.99 to buy. I might buy that, to be completely honest. I'll not do it now, but then it's guaranteed I'll forget, and then I'll go back to it, and it'll be back up at full price again. But never mind. So that's where you can watch it legally. Right. So anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? We'll get on with it. Winger says, meanwhile, Shatner is a real space cowboy at this age. Yes, he really went into space, didn't he? He really, really did. Right. Bear with me. I'm just sorting things out. Here we go. Right, let's full screen this baby. Mute the bugger and full screen it. And we'll get it on, so to speak. Hang on. I've got to get rid of that and make myself titchy-tiny down in the bottom of the corner of the screen. There I go. And I'll add it and we'll get on with it. Right, off it goes. Is it going to come on? There we go. Warner Brothers. Definitely get a copyright claim. I'll definitely get a copyright claim. Right, here we go. We're in black and white at the beginning because we're in 1958, it'll tell us in a minute. There we go. Space Cowboys. Oh, by the way, the music for this opening bit, I'll unmute it and just listen to it for 2 seconds. There we go. Bit of guitar. Actually written by Clint. Oh, excuse me. Written by Clint Eastwood. Oh, God, I'm burping. What's up with me? What are you up to, Princess? Where have you gone? Could hear her making noises. Justin 34's here. Hello, everyone. Hope all is well. All is well. We've just started. I've just put the film on. So we're just going through it. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yes. Clint Eastwood, he composed this music. The music for the film was composed by Lenny Nyhouse, who I've no idea. I don't know what else he's done. It doesn't ring a bell. Let's have a look. He's passed away. Passed away in 2020. So we're knocking on when he did this. He was 71 when he did this film. American alto saxophonist, composer and arranger on the West Coast jazz scene. Right. And he's done a few films with Clint Eastwood, apparently. Right, let's have a look then. What other films has he done? Selected television and film scores. Right, Heartbreak Ridge, cool film. Pale Rider, cool film. Well, yeah, a lot of Clint Eastwood films. Loads of Clint Eastwood. Probably, I think, all of the Clint Eastwood films, pretty much. So there we go. Yeah. Right, fair enough. Right. I can't say it. Obviously, I've seen lots of films he's done, but obviously his name's never stuck with me. And 20th Good Kindermaster and I can't speak. CSX 2025 is here. Hello. Hello. Anyway. Yes, Clint Eastwood made a lot of good films. Yes, he did. He did a lot of good films. Of all varieties. Has he ever done a horror film? He's done westerns, obviously. He's done action films. He's done spy films. And he's done dramas and political intrigue and all that stuff, and cop films. Has he ever done a horror? I'm trying to think. I don't think he has. Could Pale Rider be? Is it Pale Rider or is it High Plains Drifter? They're similar tales, aren't they? Could they be classed as horror? I don't know. Because they're kind of supernaturally spooky, are they? I don't know. Anyway. Anywho, where were we? Oh my, this film. Right, we'll get on with it. Right, so we're in black and white because we're in 1958. It'll tell us in a minute. Somewhere, there we go. 1958. Play Misty for me. Oh, kind of. I've seen it once and I can't remember what happens in it. And it was a long time ago. I was young when I saw it, so I don't think I appreciated it. I think it was on TV once, and I caught it. And I might not have seen it all the way through. So that's one of the Clint Eastwood films I've not seen all the way through. Was Sandra Locke in that? Because he did a few films with Sandra Locke, didn't he, when they were in a relationship. Don't know. Anyway, right, we're in 1958 and we're going to see an X2. There it is. Going off. By the way, ILM did the effects for this film, apparently, according to the documentaries. And Tightrope. Oh, right. I don't think I've seen that one either, to be honest. So, there you go. I will have to look them up. Right, where were we? X2, heading into the stratosphere, and on board is a young... I forgot the names of the characters already. Frank Corvin, if it shows us... Hang on, I'm checking on IMDb because I'm bloody useless. A young Frank Corvin and a young Hawkins. I can't remember his first name, hang on. William. A young William Hawk Hawkins. And I think it's Hawk that's in the front. He's the pilot, and Frank is in the back. Young versions of them. This isn't Clint Eastwood and Tommy Lee Jones, but it is their voices, and it's weird. But anyway, so here they are in an X2. There we go. They're at 100,000 feet, doing Mach 3 or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, and here we see a young Tank. Who's the James Garner character, Tank Sullivan. Don't know his first name, they just call him Tank. I'm sure he has got a first name, it probably does tell us at some point. But there he is, he's flying the Stratofortress, whatever the hell it is. There he is. But as I said, they've got young actors in to play these young versions of these characters, but the older actors, Clint Eastwood and all that, are doing the voices, and it sounds weird because they're young men with old man's voices, and I don't know. If we didn't know that they were old men, would we know? But it is kind of weird. But anyway, there he's flying that, and here's the young Donald Sutherland character, Jerry. Again, checking out a Playboy because he's the Lothario of the group. He's on the ground. He's like an engineer. There he's checking out Miss October in Playboy. But apparently it is. Apparently it is Miss October. Right. So, by the way, he finds a scorpion, there we go, on his boot and just throws it away because he's devil may care. Nothing scares him. B-29, according to Justin. All right, fair enough. I don't know planes. Is it Concorde? That's what I usually say. Any plane. Is it Concorde? It's something my mum used to say, jokingly. Anyway, throws a scorpion away. Right. Anyway, so off they go. And there's a malfunction. I think they'll get a flame out or whatever. The plane goes into a spin. Toby Stevens, by the way, playing young Clint Eastwood. And he does actually really look like him. And I wish they'd used Toby Stevens' voice. Obviously, he's gone on to become super famous. Don't know any of the others. But Toby Stevens, a good young Clint Eastwood. I'm trying to think. When did Die Another Day come out? Had he done that before this or after? Let me check. Let me check. I can't remember Die Another Day. Was it that before or after this? Oh, it were after. 2 years after this. I wonder if this was one of his earlier films. Let's have a look. Oh no, he'd been in a few stuff. Been in a few stuff before this. Anyway, never mind. Right, where were we? That's it. All right, they're dreaming. They're looking at the moon, by the way, there, and they're dreaming about becoming astronauts and going to the moon, because it's at that time the space race is heating up. But anyway, the plane flames out, goes into a spin, and they bail out. The wing breaks off, and they bail out at 100,000 feet or whatever, breaking a record. They're always on about breaking records. They broke a record for altitude, and they break a record for a high altitude bailout and all that stuff. They nearly hit the plane. There we go. Nearly. Donald Sutherland's looking through binoculars. He says, "Oh, you nearly went like a bug on a windshield there." But anyway. Right, so here's young James Cromwell. His character is called... I've forgotten. I'm useless. Bob Gerson. It's Major Gerson in this. Oh, wow, there's another super famous actor in this who was a no-name at the time. But you'll probably mention it. I don't know. James Cromwell is super famous now, isn't he? Was he super famous before this? I think he was, wasn't he? He'd done Babe and all that before this, hadn't he? Anyway, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. He's in charge, by the way, and he's kind of a baddie. Is the baddie of the film? You know, is a sneaky politician type character. It's not really a bad. There's no baddies in this really, but is the the antagonist. Whoa, what are you doing, princess? Behave yourself. Bloody hell, making noises. Anyway, there we go. There's the plane crashes. I'm sure there's probably Area 51 or somewhere. I don't know. So anyway, Hawk comes up saying, "Woohoo! Yeah, 112,000 feet, and I feel fine." And Frank punches him out like that. You always got to push things to the limit. That was my Clint Eastwood impression. Anyway, so they kind of get chewed out by Gerson. Says, "My $4 million plane. That's the third one you've wrecked," or whatever. Says, "Well, but we did break records." But anyway, you're just in time for this announcement. So they think they're going to be announced as new astronauts, but what it turns out is that the Air Force is not doing space flights and stuff anymore. It's space, what do you call it, space experiments or whatever, I don't know. Space program, the Air Force space program is no more, and they're forming NASA, and it's the right stuff here, where they're going to be selecting astronauts to send into space. And they think they're going to be the first group of astronauts. They're called the Daedalus group. And we learned that no, that's not going to happen. And they bring out a chimpanzee called Marianne or something. So there we go, out he comes. And here becomes the chimpanzee. And best line of the film, I'm going to have to play this. When he looks at him. Here we go, hang on. There we go. Yes, Marianne. There we go.
Frank, she wants to shake your hand.
Hang on.
You bastard.
You bastard. So there we go. So he doesn't become an astronaut. Right. But he kind of does become involved with NASA and stuff like that, because that's how he becomes involved with the film, right? 40 years later, we're at NASA, wherever. Does it tell us? I don't know. I don't think it tells us where this is. If you know NASA, you probably know where it is. Oh, they've got present day. Don't tell us. Is it Houston or somewhere? I don't bloody know. Right, so here we go. This is Sarah Holland. There's James Cromwell as the old Gerson. This is Sarah Holland, the mission director for NASA for STS-200. Right, so this is where we're going to learn that the Russian communication satellite Ikon is falling out of orbit. She suggests that they just let it burn up because it's an obsolete. It's been up there since the 80s or whatever, and it's going to burn up in 30 days. But the Russians said they don't want it to. They want to do a mission to go and rescue it and push it up into a higher orbit, and they're being a bit coy about it. And I hate her hair. I mean, Nancy Gay Harden's lovely, but her hair, it looks like a bloody Lego hair she's got on, doesn't it? Bless her. But sort your hair out, love. There's William Devane, who's chewing gum all the way through the film, and he's kind of like Shane Rimmer with his voice, isn't he? But yes, she looks like a Thermian. Well, thankfully, her translator device is working in this, so she's not going or whatever it is they do. So there's William Devane, who you've seen in 24 and Stargate. He's played the American president twice, hasn't he? On 24 and in Stargate. So are they in the same universe? Yes, in my mind. But look, chewing gum all the way through the film. And that fella's he usually plays. Were he in John Wick? He usually plays Russians, doesn't he? I don't think he's Russian. I think he's like from some Eastern European country. I can't remember. Let me check. There he is. Croatian. Rade Srb. Whatever. Has been in loads of films. Often playing baddies. It was the American president in Dark Knight, and Chris Judge is also in that. Therefore, it's Stargate. Yes. Bet Teal'c were on a secret mission, wasn't he, in the Dark Knight? So we're in the president in that. I can't remember. I've only seen the Dark Knight once, and I didn't think it was that good, to be honest. I just don't like Christian Bale's Batman. As the series went on, his voice got more stupid, didn't it? But anyway, whatever. That's for another time. Anyway, so they want it saving. So they're going to do a mission. NASA's going to save it. STS-200 is going to save it. And but anyway, and he's like saying he's looking fed up because he's the flight director. He plays Gene, obviously named after Gene Kranz, the famous flight director for NASA during the Apollo era and all that. He's called Eugene Davis in this. And he's obviously never gets flustered. He's one of these cool characters who's snarky as hell. Dark Knight Rises, yeah. Batman Begins is my favourite of that trilogy. If not for Ledger, I don't think people would like Dark Knight as much. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Nolan Batman films, to be honest. I'm not. They're all right. I don't hate them or anything like that, but I don't know why people rave about them. I prefer Batman Returns and Batman Forever, to be completely honest. They're my two favourite Batman films, but that's just me. I love the 66 Batman. Who doesn't love that? Sometimes you just can't get rid of a bomb. That's for me. Bale was awesome in my opinion. Not as bad. I like Christian Bale. I thought he was great in Terminator Salvation, and I've never seen American Psycho, and that one with dragons in, Reign of Fire. I liked him in that as well. But anywho, a good child actor in Empire of the Sun. Yes, he was good in The Prestige as well. Yes, he was good in that as well. I just didn't like him as Batman. Right, where were we? Yes. It says we've got to save it because this is the only communication satellite that we've got, or whatever. And obviously, William Devane says, I find it hard to believe that's the only bird you've got up there. But anyway, they're gonna try and save it. So anyway, there's been a software malfunction they find, so they're gonna go and check on it. So here they are in the mission control or whatever it's called. And this fella's here. I think I think it's him. He's going to be one of the astronauts, I think, that's going to go up. I think this is Ethan. Sorry, you activated my Trek macro. Rain of Fire, also starring Julian Bashir. What are you in that? I can't remember. It's a long time since I've seen that as well. Honestly, can't remember. Anyway, the best comic book trilogy, in my opinion. Well, cool. I'm glad you think that. I don't agree, but you know, I know a lot of people do like it, and I appreciate it. I don't hate it. I'm not a huge fan. I think I've got them all. I've got them all on Blu-ray over there, but I'd never watch them. Anywho, where were we? This is where we find out now that the software that's failed, or that is the problem, turns out it's really old, 'cause it's from the 80s, and he's saying there's nobody here understands what this is, and so she looks at some stuff because she's super brainy, and she says it's from Skylab. He says, what's a program from Skylab doing on a Soviet communications satellite? He says, well, that's a good question. He says, we've got to find out who wrote this, and then they can help us. And James Cromwell, Bob Gerson says, I know who it is, and hopefully he's dead. It's Frank Corvin. She says, is he alive? And he says, oh, is he dead or whatever? He says, only if I'm lucky. Anyway, then we cut to Frank Corvin's house, which looks to be somewhere in California. Looks very California-y, doesn't it? Is that still there now? Maybe it's burnt down. I don't know. But anyway, we're at his house with his wife. For some reason, I kept thinking was... I forgot her name now. The actress that played Carrie's mum in the original, but it's not. She is Barbara Babcock. Who was in Star Trek? Win Grace. She was in the original series. A couple of episodes, but I think most recognisably in Plato's Stepchildren. She was in that, wasn't she? Anyway, she's Frank Corvin's wife. And he's trying to fix the garage door. And she says, I've got the instructions here. And he's saying, no, we don't need instructions. And then they can't get out because he's forgot the batteries for the remote. So they're going to have a bit of canoodling in the dark garage. Captain America trilogy is up there also. Yes, I agree with that. Captain America, the first Avenger, is probably my favourite of the Marvel MCU films. I love First Avenger. It's really good. And the other two are good as well. So they're doing a bit of canoodling. Then the garage door opens up. There we go. And then we see Sarah, and I think that's Ethan, with he says, I heard a noise, because she's like going, oh, I'm being got by a dirty old man, is his wife, jokingly. And he says, I found this in your car. There he goes. He's got a, obviously it's, what they call it, a hat. There's no roof on it. What do they call a car with no roof? You know what I mean. He finds the garage, the remote in the car. So that is Liz let him out there. He's handing it back. And he goes, thanks for saving the day. Here we go. I'm the guy. I heard someone scream. There you go. Thanks for saving the day. Dear. Right, so it's where they tell him, got this satellite. It's got your software that you wrote, because he's Dr. Corvin, by the way. He's not just an astronaut, not just a pilot. He's a doctor as well. Super brainy. But with the high waistline there. I'm getting to that age where I'm going to start pulling my kicks all the way up. So, you know, he's saying, yes, I wrote this and all that stuff. But then when he learns that they've come from Bob Gerson's office, who he hates Bob Gerson, because remember, Bob Gerson replaced him with a chimpanzee. And he calls it a monkey, because for some reason Americans don't know the difference between an ape and a monkey, but never mind. Says, he replaced my ass with a monkey. And then he tells them basically to get out, because he don't want anything to do with them. So off they go. There you go. I think it's time for you two to head on out of here. So off they go. And it's where he does a snarky remark back at him saying, oh, it must be true. You're not a team player. So he says, bugger off. So he says, get out. Anyway, so he's having a look. Obviously, they'd left him the plans, or maybe he had the plans himself because he wrote the stuff. And he's having a think back. Apparently, he made a promise to his Daedalus crew that he would get them into space one day. And now he's hatching a plan of a way to get them in there, get them up there, so to speak. Right, so he's going to head over to wherever that is. Hang on, I can check, can't I? Where was it filmed? Right. But the Kennedy Space Centre, Johnson Space Centre in Houston. So it's one of them, innit? Don't ask me which one. I have no idea. Where else? Yes, the Johnsons said that one, haven't they? Yeah. This is probably Houston, innit? It'll be Houston. Is it Houston or Houston? Whatever. With a big Saturn V there on its side. As my mate calls them, Saturn V. Don't matter, I can take the mickey out of me mate for calling that, because he never watches my show. Do you, Simon? Anyway, right, where were we? We're at Johnson Space Centre. There she is in the office, and here comes Frank, and he says, I can sort out your problem. So in they go to see Bob Gerson, and he says, send up my crew, and they all say, ha, you're all like 1,000,000 years old, that's never going to happen. Says, well, it's going to happen now. And he says, well, no, you can train. I've got a young crew. You can train them. He says, no, the deal is the team from Project Daedalus, Team Daedalus, whatever you call them. It's them or nothing. So they get a damn good cup of coffee, Bob. And so anyway, so that's his plan. And he's basically blackmailing them. That's what he's doing. Saying, if you don't send us up, it's going to crash into the Earth's atmosphere, So there you go. Take it or leave it. And he tells him to get out. He says, well, okay then, but, whatever. It's your loss. There you go. Anyway, so off he goes, thinking he's not going into space. But as he's leaving, the security guard stops him, and then Bob Gerson comes out and says, all right then, you can go to space. And he wants to shake his hand on it, and he says, no, I want it in writing. Well, whatever. He says, okay, but you've got to pass all the physical and mental tests and stuff that astronauts have to do. It's a bit like Armageddon, isn't it? Bit different. So he's got to go round up his team now. So this is where we learn that Tank has become a minister, Baptist minister. There he is, and it seems he's not a very good one. He's not very organised. But then he sees Frank, and there he goes, getting ready with his notes because he's got a tattoo there. There's his little Hawaiian lady who he puts on. I'm doing that because she dances. That he puts on his console, dashboard, whatever they call it in a plane. When they're coming in for a landing. Anyway, there you go. He sees Frank there lurking at the back of the church. And though he starts telling the story about once upon a time there was 4 men who wanted to go into space and all that stuff. There you go. Right, after the service, there we go, they have a little chat, and he says, we're going into space. Are you coming with me? He says, yeah, of course I am. He says, right, fair enough. So now he's got to go and get Jerry, who now does roller coasters. There he is, bombing around this roller coaster. There you go, Jerry O'Neill, structural engineer, design and contractor. And Clint comes up and thinks that she's Jerry's daughter. Turns out she's not, because they have a big kiss when he gets off. Sorry, Wingrace says they should probably just train some oil drillers. Yes. Get Bruce Willis there. And Ben Affleck, get his teeth sorted. Apparently he had to have his teeth sorted, didn't he, for Armageddon, for some reason. I don't know why, but never mind, that's another film. And Liv Tyler. I don't know if people seeing Liv Tyler. Oh, anyway, never mind. Right, so, here we go. He says, hey, we're going into space. Bob Gerson's, I'm blackmailing Bob Gerson. He says, oh, right, fair enough. He says, it's all here in black and white. And he shows him the contract. And he gets his glasses out. There he goes, massive, thick lenses on. He's looking at him. Says, do you really need those? And he says, well, yeah, for reading and driving and walking. So that's a funny thing that goes on into the film during the training and stuff. So obviously he's blind as a bat without his glasses. Bit like me. So there we go. So he says, yes, of course I'm going. Right. Oh, and he says, he says, I can't imagine what Hawk said. He says, well, I haven't actually seen him yet. So now we're going to meet Hawk. What Hawk's doing. Tommy Lee Jones. Anyway, this young couple arrive, here we go, at Utah Crop Dusting Company. And this fella here who's, I don't know, he's like 2 seconds away from, I don't know, a heart attack or something, or massively high blood pressure. I don't know, but it looks like it's about to explode all the way through his little scene that he's got here. But it's his birthday, and he wants to go up in a plane and do barrel rolls and loop the loop and all that kind of stuff. How does he put it? I want the shit scared out of me. Anyway. So he says, we don't do that. It's too dangerous. But he does over there. So it's Hawkins. He's going to do it. So he comes over and says, hey, it's my birthday. He goes, happy birthday. Right, so up he goes, takes him up in his crop dusting plane. Yeehaw, there we go. Going up diddly up and down diddly down or whatever. So there he goes. And then he ends up throwing up. Here he goes, look, blowing chunks. It's movie spew, innit? And it ends up all over. And anyway, he lands. He says, that wasn't a good idea, having a big lunch before you come out flying. He says, sorry, I'll clean it up. He says, no, don't worry about it. He says, there you go, you did splendid work. You got your wings. And he's all covered in puke. So off he goes. But then Frank's here. And he says, the worst day of my life was when Armstrong set foot on the moon. Says he must have been the only man in the world that felt like committing suicide that day. It says, well, hi, Frank. We haven't talked in 12 years and you're talking about killing yourself. Anyway, whatever. So he's telling him all about what his plan is, and he's not going to go. He don't believe him. He says, no, you're crazy and all that stuff. No, thanks. And so he says, say hello to your wife. And Frank says, well, say hello to yours. Well, she's dead. So he says, oh, good. Sorry, I didn't know. So anyway, so he thinks it's a no from Hawk. So he's heading out to where Jerry and Tank are waiting in a nearby diner. And then this car comes roaring past him, nearly hitting a big truck, as we'll see in a minute. Oh, Pete's sake. Here it comes. Roaring past him, nearly hitting a big truck. Ooh. Making Clint Eastwood go, ooh, crikey. Sci-fi questions here. Hello, Melvin. The good old boys. 'Cause they're good old boys. Don't mean no harm. What's that off now? Is it Dukes of Hazzard? I can't remember. Anyway, so he arrives at the thing and he says, Hawk's not coming. He's the same stubborn jackass he always was, but he's sitting there behind him. Oh, there he is, sitting there. Saying, you still drive like an old lady. So anyway, right, they're heading into Johnson Space Center. Yes, it is there, because that's the Texas flag there, isn't it? The Lone Star State. So here they are. The right stuff. For some reason, when they're walking in, they're playing like a popular song. But for some reason, I got the Police Academy theme going through my head. I don't know why. But they're playing like a popular, for some reason. But for some reason, in my head, all I'm hearing is the Police Academy theme. Look it up. Anyway, so in they go. In they go. It's where they meet Sarah there. She's talking to some kids all about going into space. Says, what would happen if you jumped on a trampoline in space? And she said, you go up and up and up and you never come back. That's not necessarily true, but the kids. And then somebody asks her, one of the kids asks her, could you kick a ball to the moon or whatever? She says something like that. I'll throw a baseball to the moon or hit a baseball to the moon. And she says, well, you just have to hit it halfway and then the moon's gravity will take over. Technically, it's not half. The Lagrange point, you have to hit it to do it, which I think is nearer the moon than it is Earth. But and then the moon's gravity takes over, and which comes back later in the film. is there even an up in space? Well, technically no, isn't there? Technically no. I suppose you have to have one for navigation purposes, don't you? You have to know where certain things are. But anyway, there is. If you've got a thing in space that can have an up and a down, like a north and a south, you can have a north galactic pole and a south galactic. You know what I mean? But space itself doesn't care, does it? Everything's all higgledy-piggledy up there. Anyway. Right, so she's telling them that. Right, so they got introduced, and they're introducing themselves. And, she's saying, Cliff Jenkins, so-and-so from the Cape or whatever, says, you were the best pilot ever and all that stuff, or whatever. I can't remember what she says. Let's have a look. There we go. Commander Jenkins, told me a story about you and him in Vietnam. So he says, it's going to be 100% bullshit. He says, how is that old dog? He says, he's dead. We get that a couple of times. So, anyway. So, he introduces the rest of them. And right, off they go. Gerson, I can never remember his name. Gerson is talking to the Russian fella. What's his name? I've forgotten already. General Vostov. Should have just called him Chekhov, shouldn't they? Talking to General Vostov about... it's obvious that Gerson knows the secret of Ikon, the satellite that they're going to rescue. But they're not really letting on here. But obviously he knows, because he says, what's going to happen with these old geezers and all that stuff. Well, they're never even going to wash. They're never even going to get through the training. But he says, but if they do, I've got my guy. So they're making it sound all, as though he's the baddie. Even though technically there's no baddie in this film, but he's the major antagonist. Anyway, so there we go. Is that the International Space Station? I don't know. Right. I'm saying I can never remember his name. It's there on his desk in big letters. Anyway, so there they go talking about that. There you go. Frank goes, I'm going to go in there, believe he's going up, but, there's no intention of sending him. But circumstances force his hand. Anyway, so they're having this big presentation now about what it's going to be. It's STS 200. I can't remember how many STS missions there were. Were there over 200? I can't remember. Let's look it up. Space Shuttle missions. Right. List of Space Shuttle missions. What did it go up to? Let's go all the way to the bottom. I know they did a lot, didn't they? But where are we? No, they went up to 135. STS 135. But they weren't numbered in order, were they? So, but that was the last one anyway. In 2011, the Atlantis. In July, the space, an amazing thing, and why did they have to get rid of it? Never mind. Obviously there were five shuttles that went into space: Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavour. Enterprise never went into space, unfortunately. Anyway, that's by the by. That's history out of the way. They're introducing the astronauts that are going to go. The mission specialists. They're going to be sorting out the Ikon, and they're the astronauts. Well, two of them. There he is, Ethan and Roger, Courtney Bevans. They're going to be going up, as the backup crew, so to speak. Which shuttle had the spore drive? The Discovery. Oh dear. Anyway, so there we go. They're all doing all this and getting all the introductions out of the way, and this is where we're going to learn that all about the Ikon. Jerry's putting his massive jam jar bottle, jam jar bottom, whatever you call it, glasses on, and Clint takes them off because obviously he'll never pass the physical if he's got to wear these. if the sea is blind, essentially. So he takes them off and says, I'll tell you about it later. So there they're telling them, showing them all about what's going to happen. They're going to use the payload assist modules, PAMs, to boost it into a higher orbit. And so there we go. Should be easy peasy. And then Gene comes in, so why don't we just capture it and bring it down and fix it and put it back up again? So, it's too big. He says, too big for the space shuttle? Yes, it is. And we'll see why later. Enterprise had the spore drive. It didn't go into space. It spun to other planets. Is that top secret thing? Because we've never seen it since, have we? Dear. I'm sure it's somewhere. It'll be at somewhere, won't the Enterprise? But anyway. So there we go. Gene's not happy that they're sending up Team Daedalus or Daedalus, however you want to pronounce it. It's in Elon's garage. I won't be surprised. Right, I'm going to look that up then. Where is the Enterprise? Let's see. And where's my list? Where is it? There we go. Enterprise. Space Shuttle Enterprise. Where is it now? It's at the Smithsonian. That's where it is. Since 2003. Hang on, no, it isn't. They moved it. It's gone to the Intrepid Museum in New York City, where it has been on display since 2012. Right, so it's there. In New York. If you want to go see it, Winggrace, that's where it is. Right. So, anyway, Gene's not happy about putting these old farts into space. But eventually, there you go. He's also asking, how did the guidance system of Skylab end up in a Russian bird? You know, in his amazing voice. Like I say, he's like Shane Rimmer. I just got to play it.
How did a guidance system from Skylab end up in a Russian bird?
He's got a great voice. I love William Devane. He's great in everything he does. It's just William Devane in everything. You know, his character is always the same. But he's great. He's great. Is he still alive? I hope so. I'm going to check. Yes, he is. He's still knocking on. But which quantum version of New York? I don't know. Hours. I don't know what. Which Earth is this? 616. I don't know. I'm not a comic person. Anyway, so eventually he says, well, whatever, but I want you to train alongside. I want my guys to train alongside you, and all that stuff. In case you wash out, and they'll be able to do the mission without you. So anyway, and if they put a foot wrong, they're out, etc. Well, there's talking about his two guys who he wants to train alongside him. Ethan, who's a brown-nosing snot, and Roger, who's a cocky little shit. Says, but they're his best men. Anyway, so there we go. So they're going in having their medicals now. So they're all doing their... What is the point of this? The coffin drop thing? I don't know. But they're all there. And then so this other doctor comes in with this... Beverly Crusher comes in, essentially. There we go. They all cover themselves up, except for Jerry, obviously, who's not ashamed of his manhood. But anyway, so right. So they're doing the eye test now. Isn't the Enterprise also fully operational? Can actually be used despite being in a museum? I have no idea. No idea. So, I know it never went. I don't think it could go into. Was it too heavy or something like that to go into space? It was just used, as a test, wasn't it? Of it, that released it off the back of a 747 and stuff, didn't they? And tested it for landing and all that, didn't they? But I'm sure I read somewhere it was too heavy to go into space. But I could be wrong. William Devane does commercials here, trying to sell us gold. This one time at space camp. Is it Willow? Checking for they're checking for hernias. Oh, is that what it's for? Oh, right. Is that what it's for? I've always wondered. I've never had that done. Never at school, and never in any medicals I've had. Doctors or anything. Never been done. I've always wondered, why they always do that. Anyway, so they're doing the eye test, and here we come. And here we go. Cover your eye, read the chart, obviously. Tommy Lee Jones has got amazing vision. He gets them all right, even down to the bottom. It says MADE in USA. All amusing. In 15 seconds, got the time in each other, because Frank and Hawk are super competitive. But they got 2010 vision. I don't know what that means. Even with my glasses on, I won't be able to read past probably the third line. I've got terrible, terrible eyes, even with my glasses on. Anyway, Windcrest says it was designed so as a test vehicle, was never built with the necessary components like engines or a functional heat shield to enable spaceflight. There we go. Also as well, I'm sure I read somewhere it was too heavy. Anyway, so he's struggling, but he's got 20/20 vision. It's still fine. And then Jerry says, "My turn," and he's there. He's with massive glasses on. He takes his glasses off, and he says, "I'll just read the bottom three," and he just goes through them. He says, "You've got 20/10 vision. What do you need these for?" He says, "I just use them for looking at you, sweetheart." And off he goes. He says, "I may be blind, but there's nothing wrong with my memory." And he starts reciting the letters again. Anyway, then they're taking blood, and we learn that she knows him back when she was a little girl. He's her dad was the base officer where he was stationed, and he says, "Oh yeah, I do recognise you. How is the old dog? He's dead." Oh God. So anyway, and then he comes out and he's saying, "How come you notice everybody seems to be dead lately?" So we're a bit like in Cocoon, aren't we? Like last week in Cocoon. The Cocoon the Return, wasn't it? The special one that I did, Cocoon the Return. It's mentioned that most people our age, boring old farts, and what's his face? I forgot his name now, but he says most people our age are dead. It's a similar sort of thing with this, isn't it? Anyway, sci-fi question. So the Shuttle Enterprise doesn't deserve to be in Star Trek. Got it. Got that. Well, it's there. It's called the Enterprise. They shouldn't have called it that, I don't think. They should have called the first one that went into space the Enterprise. They should have called the first one that didn't go into space something else, but never mind. Anyway, where are we? Right, so anyway, they're off training with the other proper astronauts. I'm saying proper astronauts. The other young astronauts. They said, we're doing a 10-mile run. So they're nearly dying. And they're saying, don't look weak in front of the young uns. And there's another funny scene here where they're doing some bench pressing. Says, can you do 225? So he says, okay, Tank. Here we go. You can help me. And obviously Tank's doing half the work as well. Look, God, you've got it. Like that. He says, oh, not bad. And then Tank says, I'm going to go to my room and cry. Anyway, right, so they're having lunch or whatever. They all look knackered. Jerry's having problems with his false teeth. And the young uns send over some, what do they call it? Whatchamacallit, I can't remember what they call it. It will say him. And Ensure, the drink for old people. But, yes, they should have called the original one the Yorktown, shouldn't they? And then the first one, the Columbia, they should have called that Enterprise, shouldn't they? Although the Columbia kind of came to a sticky end, but never mind. And Josh Temple's here, harpoon at the ready. Don't think we'll need it because there's no aliens to fight or anything like that in this film. But it's still an amazing film. We won't need your harpoon. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway. So they're joking, so they're drinking it and saying, "Hey, it's all humorous." They're going to have a race with each other. There we go. Sarah's watching, and she's kind of falling in love with Hawk. Anyway, here we go. She says, "Have you seen Colonel Hawkins?" Says, "Oh, he's in here. He's in the men's room. He's in the men's shower room." Says, "Don't worry, the coast is clear." Anyway, she goes in. Says, "Colonel Hawkins, where are you?" And then she sees him in the nude, probably. I don't know, but says, "Oh, I'm sorry." And there he appears with a towel. And she's all awkward. He says, I've got this, the simulator, blah, blah, blah. And so he's looking at it and says, I'm going to take you for a beer. And she says, I need it. So there we go. Meanwhile, it shows him doing training. He's there with his massive glasses on. And then they're in the centrifuge that's testing, how they handle G-forces. Jerry's boasting that he threw up in his helmet. Is that what it says? Where is it? I threw up in my helmet. Dear. Anyway, it's Frank and Hawk's turn, and they said they put a bet on who's going to pass out first. Because Endeavour should have been the test bed. Name suits its purpose better. I suppose so, yes. Wonder why they went with Atlantis. That's a weird choice, isn't it? For the name of a space shuttle. It's a bit esoteric, isn't it? Probably because of all the blooming Freemasons that part of NASA, but never mind. Love in the Simulator. We had that, didn't we, last week? I can't remember how we used it, but I said, didn't I? It's my favourite Aerosmith song. Anyway. But no, there's no love in this simulator. But anyway. So they pass out. So they're not as good as James Bond, because James Bond didn't pass out in Moonraker, did he? When he was trapped in the centrifuge. And so there we go. But he had to use his special cued gadget to break it, didn't he? Anyway, these pass out. They're all laughing and all that stuff. Yeah, and it's going around like Billy O, look. Don't tell us how many G's they're pulling. But mate, there you go, that'll take the wrinkles out. But then Gene comes running in, so what's going on? And he stops it off. And Frank says, who passed out first? And anyway, so we never find out. But Hawk says he saw Frank pass out before he did, so he won. But we don't know. Tank's testing out his grabbing skills because he's going to be operating the arm, the robot arm on the shuttle. He's testing out his skills on the claw. And he wins, obviously. Obviously, Jerry's dancing with a young woman because he's a Lothario. Or a gigolo, whatever you want to call him. And Frank and Hawk are playing pool. And then they get some drinks brought over. And talking about, being old and all that's talking about passing out and all that stuff. And who's the most healthy of the two? And they ask her, the waitress, who would out of the two of us would you take home? And she says, be really rude in my opinion. She says, what, to the home, the old people's home? And I said, well, piss off then. Go on, you're not getting a tip. Bugger off. But anyway. Then they start arguing amongst themselves. He says, you would pick him with his love handles the size of Nebraska. And he said, what about him with his turkey gizzard neck and face like 30 miles of Death Valley fire trails, or whatever the hell he says. Chicken gizzard neck. But then this fella comes up and says, stop bothering her. And they nearly come to blows. So it's gonna get him, and but it says, no, come on, we'll have a fight outside and all that stuff. Come on, I want you outside. And Hawk thinks he's diffuse the situation, so he goes outside and he's laughing. But obviously Frank is itching for a fight. There you go. Did I get your ass out of a jam or not? And then he gets punched again, like he did earlier on. So they said, you got Team Daedalus canned, etc. Blah. So they're fighting, and next time we see him, he got black eyes. He's got a black eye as Hawkins. Says, what happened to your eye? Asked Gene. I fell in the shower. You need to get maintenance to sort out, get some non-slip stuff down. And then he goes to see Frank. We see Frank's got a black eye as well. Says, hello, Frank. He's got a black eye. Says, do you slip in the shower as well? He says, yeah, well, how would you know that? Says, I'm going to talk to the janitor. he must know they've been fighting, but anyway. Sci-Fi Quest says, I just googled this, but I think it's wrong. The space shuttle experiences a maximum of about 3 Gs. Seems a bit. I've heard that. I've heard it's just 3 Gs to get into space, into orbit. I've heard that. I don't think it's like, you see in the films where they're all like. I mean, you can pull more than 3 Gs going around a sharp corner in a car, can't you? But because it's a gradual, a gradual curve into space. You know what they call it. Well, I can't remember what they call it, but it's not instant acceleration, is it? It's slowly building up into it. Anyway, depends on the crew. They could all be G's for all we know. Not just 3 of them. Anyway, but yeah, I've seen that. It's I think your average launch into space is only about 3 Gs. As I said, because it's not like instant acceleration, it's a gradual build-up of speed, isn't it? Anyway, here they are in the simulator. And we see that the young fellas, Roger and Ethan, they land, they land their shuttle perfectly. There they go. Touching, and land their shuttle perfectly. But then it's Hawk and Frank's turn, and goes wrong, and they crash it. He says, "Okay then," because he wants to land it manually. He doesn't want to use the computer, does Hawk. He wants to do it manually. They say, "You can't do it manually. You've got to use the computer." He says, "No, that's nonsense. What if the computer fails?" He says, "Okay, let's reset it and do a computer failure or whatever." He says, "Okay then. We'll have another go." It says, "Throw it, throw everything at them." So it's all raining and stuff, and they've lost the computer, and the weather's bad, and all that stuff. There we go, thunder and lightning, and we saw the computer fails. It's got to land manually, and we see how good a pilot Hawk is, and he lands it. They say, "Oh, you're going to stall it," and all that stuff. You're coming in too fast, and he gets the nose up. And I don't think this would work in real life. I don't know. I'm not a pilot. But anyway, he lands it. And so that's impossible. And so they remember they got sent the Ensure stuff. So they sent baby food and kids' books, how to be an astronaut to the young uns. So it's all fun and games. Anyway, so you get a nice little scene here with Sarah and Hawk, their blossoming romance. Hang on, Sci-Fi Quest says, "I was on a ride at Thorpe Park. That takes you to 5 Gs for 5 seconds. There you go. There you go. You could go into space tomorrow, Melvin. You'd be fine." Oh dear. Anyway, so they're having a little talk about. We learned that Sarah, we're gonna, she applied to be an astronaut, but she didn't have what it takes, so to speak. So she became, behind the scenes, an administrator or whatever, and an engineer as well. I'll just message Elon. Yes, get in there for the first manned flight of Starship. By the way, they're supposed to be launching it this week, aren't they? Is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Flight 7. Integrated flight test number 7. Fingers crossed. They're supposed to launch Blue Origin, weren't they, today? But it got been put back. I don't know when they'll be having another go. That's the main rival, innit, for Starship. But anyway, that's by the by. Right, where were we? It's all talking about being scared. She says she's scared of this, that, and the other. And he says, she says to him, "You've never been scared." He says, "Oh, I've been scared." And tell me, 17 years old, he fell in love with this beautiful girl, and but she was just interested in this other fella. So him and his mates got drunk, and they were going to go and get this other fella. They were at this posh party at the governor's ranch, and one of his friends said, "We saw this other fella go into the porta potty." So he says he pushed the porta potty down this hill and it rolled down. He could hear all this screaming coming out of it, and he says it was distinctly feminine, and turned out with the love of his life in this porta potty. And he says he was scared then. He says, I wasn't scared of the bloke, but I was scared of her. And but he says I married her 4 years later. So anyway, and I think that was his wife who's passed away recently. She was the love of his life. Anyway, so that's his little story. That all that, and then they have a kiss. There you go. So blossoming romance. So you know he's doomed, which he is. Spoilers. Anyway, right. So yeah, they're still doing the training. Look, they're getting there, and they all pass. They all pass apart from Hawk, who actually does pass. He passes the physical and all that, but I think this is where we're learning it. Oh no, this is something else. I forgot. This is something else. We see him. There we go. There we go. We see him doing the training. There's a man with a camera, with a bit of product placement for Minolta. It's in the news that NASA's putting old fogies up into space. Are we going to see the headline? They're going to show us it. I'm going to show us the headline. There we go. The ripe stuff. Anyway, so make sure we're still going. Is everything still okie dokie? Yes, it is. Make sure there's no messages on Rumble. No, there ain't. I don't think. No, there ain't. Right, off we go. Whew, where are we? Yes, it's got out. So, it's supposed to be a secret mission, by the way, because of this communication satellite. It's supposed to be top secret, but it's got out that NASA's putting these old fogies into space. But it turns out it's a good thing. And this is what I said earlier, where it kind of forces his hand. Now he's got to send them. But anyway. Oh, there they are, checking out the space shuttle, mock-up, showing them the toilet. Hang on. What's it called? There we go. The asshole centering, the ACM, the asshole centering monitor, which apparently has got a TV screen for you to put your bottom on, so you can, line it up. Anyway, and then the one for weeing in. I said, but don't worry, you'll have a diaper under your flight suit. They're all saying, oh, well, we'll use that then. Anyway, so they're doing their stuff. Oh, and then they go on Jay Leno. And on the Blu-ray, there's actually an extended version, which I've not got round to watching, of this Jay Leno interview. There we go. Which they actually filmed in front of a live studio audience at Jay Leno, but they were pretending to be their characters, obviously. So there we go. And she's all laughing at it. There you go. They're all talking about their history. She's all giddy and laughing. Anyway, it's very nice. Right, they do some more training. Here they are, the underwater thing to replicate zero gravity or microgravity. So doing all that. Alright, and Ethan's a bit cross because he thinks that Frank's not telling him everything. He says, you're not telling me everything about what I'm supposed to do because I'm supposed to be your backup. He says, I don't need no backup. But he says, it's all there, Maybe you're just not clever enough to work it out, Ethan. There you go. But anyway, but then he kind of lets slip that Gerson is not going to let them go. So there you go, that's his realisation. So he goes in. We see Gerson's on his computer doing a FaceTime thing. Well, did they have them in 2000? I don't know, but he's doing it, and it turns out he's on the blower to the vice president, because the vice president is usually the one that the vice president is kind of in charge of NASA. For some reason I don't know why the president isn't, but the vice president is the one that's in charge of NASA for some reason. He oversees it all. But anyway, he goes in and he slams the thing down. He says, you're screwing us again, Gerson, and all that stuff. You have no intention of sending us up, blah, blah, blah. But says, I've got to send you up because you're you're celebrities now. But anyway, all right. But he tells him, but one of you can't go anyway because we found out that one of you's got cancer, pancreatic cancer, and it's Hawkins. So he's saying, we'll get another opinion. He says, no. It says, Hawkins isn't going, but you three are because you're celebrities, blah, 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 super famous. And we're all, NASA's getting a budget increase as well because of you, so, thanks. Anyway, but it goes to talk to Hawk, who's looking at an SR-71. They'd use ninjamas now. What the hell's a ninjama? He's talking about for in space, the pressure suits and piddling in. I don't know, but anyway. My last live stream, I said, because I had to run to the toilet, remember, in my last live stream, and I said I should have one of those, what they call them, invisible sheath urinals. Should have one of them. Just whoosh. Billy Connolly did a skit about them, didn't he? What did he call them? I can't remember what they called them now. But where you wear them under your trousers. Psh, psh, doesn't care a jot. Anyway, that's by the by. Anyway, where were we? Hawk is checking out this SR-71, and he says this is the one that he retired in 1990. He says it's an amazing plane, which it is. It's a Buck Rogers aircraft, isn't it? The 60s were amazing, wasn't it? The 60s were the height of humankind. It's just gone downhill since then. Anyway, there you go. Retired this very airplane in 1990. He's talking about how it shouldn't be here on the ground. It's all leaky, but you get up there and it all heats up and all the seals all close up and it goes like a bat out of hell. So anyway, so he's talking about his pancreas. What is a pancreas anyhow? Is it insulin, isn't it? Pancreas does insulin, doesn't it? Anyway, they're hugging, but then Frank arrives and is saying, go on, it's not. Never mind, I can't help it. You three go, etc. But he's decided as Frank that he's not going. He says if Hawkins, isn't going, I'm not going. I'll train up the others. The Firefox looks better than the SR-71. the fictional Firefox. Was there a real Firefox? I know there were a real MiG-31, or 31. I think it was the real one of them. But I'm sure there were one that were actually called a Firefox, wasn't there? But I presume you mean the Clint Eastwood one. There you go. Says he'll teach him what he needs to do. And I don't go if Hawk doesn't. But anyway, she says she has an idea, and she says, he's got cancer and stuff, but it won't, it won't affect his work, so he can technically still go. There you go. You're all going. Yay! Meanwhile, this Dr. Beverly Crusher gives Jerry some new glasses. He says they're your prescription as well. These cool glasses you can wear for the mission. So he's going to take her out for dinner. So do they have a relationship? I don't know. A kid could fly the SR-70. I've never seen Daryl. I've never seen that. I know of it because we're always in the video library. I never rented it out. I never saw Daryl. Firefox, a good movie and book. I've not read the Firefox. I've read the sequel, Firefox Down, but I've not read Firefox. But yes, it is a good movie. We did it a while ago. Should I see Daryl? Should I? Obviously, I know of it, but I've not seen it. Anyway, where were we? Right, they're getting ready. Here we go. They're heading out to the Cape. There we go. They're all happy. Look. For some reason, still got the Police Academy theme in my head. I don't know why. That's going through my head. For some reason, there his wife's giving him the thumbs up. What's her name? Don't know. I know she's Barbara Babcock in real life, but what's... it's called Barbara in the film as well. There you go. They're going. They're heading out to the shuttle Daedalus. They're calling the shuttle Daedalus. It's a brand new shuttle, apparently, they've said earlier on in the film. So here we are. Cool shots. There's model work and there's CG work in this. So they mix it up, you know. So Laserhawk. I've never heard of that one. I've heard of Lady Hawk with Rutger Hauer. Again, I've not seen. But I've heard of it. Not heard of Laserhawk. Sounds cool. Mitch Pileggi's come. Yes, so the Daedalus. Yes, Colonel Stephen. What's his face? Oh. I forgot his last name. Never mind. From Stargate Atlantis. Anyway, so here we are. They're at the launch facility. I presume it's, I don't know, is it 39 and 40, what they usually launch from, won't it? Does it say? I don't know if it says there. Launch complex, whatever. So here we are. They're heading into the shuttle. And everything's cool. There we go. They've all got the suits on and everything. By the way, in the original script, the Ikon, the satellite that they're going up to fix, we're going to be a NASA one, and it has a secret about it that we're going to learn in a bit. That it's a bit dodgy, but if it stayed like that, NASA they said no, we're not giving you any help because they didn't want NASA to be shown in a bad light, so they changed it to a Russian one. So which helps. Yes, Stephen Caldwell, that's the fella. Yes. Isn't it funny that most known ships in Star Trek are named after active Navy warships? Peaceful, my eye. Yes, the HMS Gorkon, for instance. I'm kidding. It'd be weird if there was one. Anyway, where were we? They're getting ready to go into space. There we go. And cool effects, by the way. The mixture of, you know, obviously CG model work and stock footage. But anyway, they're getting ready to go. They're going through the, you know, Capcom, go. They don't do like on Apollo 13, they don't go, surgeon, and then short surgeon smoking a cig going, go. And all that stuff. But anyway, here we go. They're getting ready. Countdown. And I watched it, I thought, oh, she's pretty. I wonder who she is. But anyway, she's counting down. And off it goes. There we go. And a plume of smoke, of flames, and them shock diamonds, or Mac diamonds, depending on what you call them. So off they go. Lift-off Space Shuttle Daedalus and STS-200. Or is it Daedalus? USS Farragut DD. I have no idea. Don't go through every US Navy ship that's in Star Trek. By the way, the USS Enterprise in Star Trek 4 was actually the USS Ranger. Just thought I'd throw that in. But never mind. Right, off they go, up into space. Yay! Right, so off they go. Pulling their 3Gs and doing Max Q and all that stuff. There was a film called Max Q, wasn't there? Another one I've not seen, but I just remember hearing about it. Right, so up they go and detach their solid rocket boosters and all that stuff. Back in the days when space flight, apart from the shuttle bit, they did recover the solid rocket boosters. Did reuse them again, didn't they? But the fuel tank that were always lost, wasn't it? It's a shame, innit? There's no space shuttle anymore. It was cool and it looked amazing. Did the space shuttle, but it was too expensive, I suppose, wasn't it? Anyway, so they're in space, right? They're off and getting ready to get into orbit. Here we go. This is a model. I was looking at this background here. Is it? There we go. That bit of copy and what they call it, clone in there. Did they get? But never mind. Right. Oh, they're all bloody weightless now. Look, so some bad weightless acting. Apparently, NASA says you can use the vomit comet if you want, which had been used in Apollo 13. But Clint says no, because we don't want to be making his actors ill. Obviously, Ron Howard didn't care. But no, they're just pretended to be weightless in this. They even stole HMS Hood and put USS in front of it. Yes, they did. And the Yamato, which were a Japanese one, wasn't it? Anyway, so they're all there we go. They're all floating about. There's the moon. They can see the moon. I don't think you'd see that many stars, would you? Because I think they're on the daylight side of Earth. So I don't think you'd see that many. Maybe on the the dark side, the night side, you might do. You probably wouldn't. You probably won't see that many stars anyway. Not with the naked eye, anyway. Because you can only see. I don't think this is in both hemispheres or just in the northern hemisphere. There's about 5,000 in the naked eye stars visible. But anyway, never mind. Right, so they're heading for Ikon. Here we go, there we go. They get it on the cameras, look. On screen. I think it actually says that. Something along those lines. But here it is. Looks cool. Looks cool. There it is, shimmering in the distance. And Tank's getting ready to capture it with the robot arm. I'm guessing it's not the Canadian one because it doesn't say Canada on. Because it was made in Canada, wasn't it, the proper one? So I'm guessing this is a special one that they've made. Apparently, somewhere in the shuttle, what they call it, payload bay, whatever you call it, there's a Mr. Coffee. What is it, Mr. Coffee? You know, from Spaceballs. You know, like Mr. Radar and Mr. Coffee. Apparently there's one of them in there. And Adam Savage put it in because he was the chief model maker for this film. And there you go. You know, from Mythbusters. Apparently, we'll have to keep an eye out, see if we can spot it. Anyway, so there, the closing in on it. There we go. A bit of the thrusters. RCS. Here they are, the on approach. Oh, either turn on the radar, start pinging it on the radar, and this activates it. Here we go, in a minute. It's going to start glowing in a minute. So you turn on the radar. Say, look, they're all looking. It's all dramatic. When they turn on the radar, there we go. Ooh, a red light comes on. You know it's evil because it's got a red light on it. Oh no. And it all activates. There we go. No, lights come on. Look, beep 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 beep. Alert, alert. It should be in Russian, shouldn't it? Yes, it's a Cylon thing. They should have a Russian voiceover, shouldn't there, of it going on? Krasny destroy capitalist shuttle. The Buran rip-off. But anyway. It all activates, so they shut down the radar. But then it's all turned on. Look, and we have sound effects. Not that you would in space, but all as it goes by. So anyway, they're still closing in on it, and it looks like a big spark plug, doesn't it, in space? Anyway. They learn it's got some sort of self-defense mechanism. Thank goodness it didn't launch missiles at them or whatever, but it's just sitting there. And we learn that apparently, if they shut it down or anything like that, it's programmed to think that something catastrophic has happened, in Mother Russia, and it'll just launch its missiles. Because we learn it's got missiles on, by the way. Spoilers. But it's got nuclear missiles on. But we don't know that yet. So forget what I've just said. So anyway, they arrive and Tank captures it with the arm. Because they're all cool at their jobs. Here they are, look. And got it! Holy shit, he says, got it. And they're all, yay! Woohoo! Is he chewing his gum? Go on, chew! It'll be in there somewhere. I think that spark plug needs changing. It could misfire. Yes, or get the what do they call them? I've used them for years. You know them little metal strips that you use for measuring the gap meters, something like that. They call them. Don't they use that? Or get the wire brush out, put it back in. It makes no difference. Hey, those are the days. Car maintenance. I'll just let mechanics do it now. But anyway. Where were we? Right, so they've captured it. They have captured it. And so, right, they have to go out now. Here we are. Clint's going out first. And what we see here going out is actually a CG astronaut, but with Clint's real face pasted on. Here he goes. There he is. Out he goes. Keep a lookout for Mr. Coffee. I think it's Mr. Coffee. I don't know. It says here in the trivia somewhere. Where have I seen it? Well, this is Barbara Babcock's final theatrical film, apparently, according to IMDb trivia. Where is it now, anyway? Mr. Coffee, where are you? Where is it? I should just do a Control F, shouldn't I? Control F. Oops. If I could spell coffee. There we go. Yes, a Mr. Coffee. In the cargo bay of the shuttle. So let's keep an eye out for that. Anyways, here comes the CG astronaut with Clint Eastwood's real face. Heading into the Manned Manoeuvring Unit, the MMU. Here he goes. Famously first used by astronaut Bruce McCandless in 86, I can't remember. But apparently we're only used on 3 missions, three shuttle missions. The Manned Manoeuvring Unit, which is terrifying, but only used on 3 missions, and then the Challenger disaster happened, and then they thought, nah, it's too risky, we won't bother. We'll just keep them tethered from now on. But anyway, off they go. No tethers and all that stuff. Mechanics hate me. I always ask for the box new parts coming. Why? why would you ask for that? I don't know. Right, where were we? Right, so here they go. They're heading up to the. It's having a good look at the Earth. I wonder what part of Earth that is. Don't know. Central America, Panama. Don't know. Some sort of isthmus by the looks of it. Anyway, so he's saying, "Yeah, I'm in space, huzzah!" Anyway, so they're going to head over to the Ikon. Here they go. Get it inside. There we go. Just to remind us that it's a Soviet era satellite. So I know it's a new part, not just clean. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I thought you just wanted them, because you collected boxes. I don't know. You might be a box collector. Anyway. Right, so they're inside and start pressing buttons and stuff like that. And here we go. And it all lights up on the inside. And this is where it's looking up now. And we see, in a minute, but there we go. It's got all nuclear missiles in, 6 of them apparently. So he says, "Oh, what? This ain't no communication satellite." I don't know why he's talking like Mr. T, but anyway. So he says, "Let's get out of here." By the way, did you notice O'Neill with 2 L's? Because that's his name. Forgot to mention Jerry O'Neill. Oh, did he say at the beginning, didn't it? At the side of his van, didn't it? Anyway, so they're heading back. Let's get out of here, because we've got to talk about this. This isn't just some normal communication satellite. This is a weapons platform. Why didn't the Russians tell us all about this? So he's playing all as though, oh, I didn't know anything about this. But Ethan is Gerson's man, so he wants to carry on with the mission. And but Frank's saying, no, I want answers. What's my Skylab software or whatever doing on a Soviet weapons platform? So he's saying, yes, I need some answers from you, Colonel Voskov, or whatever the hell your name is. And he goes, you bastard, because he knew all about it. But apparently he says that the Soviets stole the plans from Gerson's computer files. Says, "Oh, I don't know anything about it, but I think he did, and he's going to prison." But it doesn't tell us that. But anyway, you'd think though that the Soviets would still be able to sort it out. Why didn't they send a Soviet, a Russian astronaut up? Unless he's dead, I don't know. But they didn't just steal the software, his flight stuff that Frank wrote. They can't just steal it and just plug it into their satellite. There'll have been a software engineer or whatever, a Soviet one that got it all to work. So he'll have known how what were going on, wouldn't he? But anyway, whatever. Right, so they got to, work out what they're going to do now. Eddie's been angry. Look, you're going to keep it a secret. It's all fully armed and operational, battle station and all that. But anyway, so they says, well, what we're going to do? It's where we learn that if they shut it down, it'll think that there's been a catastrophic attack against Moscow or whatever, and it'll launch its missiles at their designated targets, and so they can't just shut it down. So they've got to get it up into a higher orbit. He was probably shot by the kid, probably. Probably. So anyway, so they've got a plan. How can they get them out into space? They want to fire them off into space somehow. So Jerry's going to crunch the numbers and going to use one of the payload assist modules to boost it up into space and get it away from Earth, basically. By the way, the colonel the Soviet colonel had said that it wasn't being used. It's a relic of the Cold War, and it'd been deactivated or whatever. It was basically sleep mode, wasn't it? But he says, if you shut it down, it'll launch its missiles. But anyway. Oh, yes, and Ethan's going out. They see that Ethan's gone out to deal with it himself, and he was jammed the airlock door. Frank's got to override it. He's got to run a bypass. All defected to the USA and died under a young woman from Pasadena. That's very specific there, Sci-Fi Quiz. Do you know more than you're letting on about the backstory of this film? Anyway, so Ethan's gone out. He's gonna do his mission. He says, I'm sorting it out. So he said, Roger, get suited up and head out there when go after him when Jerry sorts the door out. But Ethan's connecting the PAMs, and he's going to use that to boost it. But saying, don't do it, it'll all go wrong. And it does go wrong in a minute. There we go, hang on. There we go. Plugs it in, look, and there's a big spark, and he gets thrown that away. Luckily, he's not in his MMU this time. He's tethered for some reason. There, look. But it's pushed away, so it's all floating about. Look, it's activating itself now. It's getting all. I'm surprised they didn't have it roaring, each time, because it like twists and goes brrr and all that stuff. They should have had it roaring, shouldn't they? And there's all bits flying about anyway, and nearly hitting. There we go, nearly hitting the shuttle. And he gets hit by that. Stoink. Don't worry, he's not killed. He's not killed, but he's still tethered, thank goodness. But there you go. It's deploying the missiles. Look, oh no! I want to see the bit where it all unscrews. Where is it? Is it? No, it's before that. Here it goes. Look, it all unscrews. And it must have been another film, but I had a Mandela effect where all this bit, all unscrews, and I thought there was a dialogue where somebody says, look, we pissed it off or something like that, but they don't say that. So I must be thinking of something else, another film. But it does kind of look angry, doesn't it? As it all, does all that. It's arming itself. Anyway, so he gets knocked out. There's Ethan, and let's say it's all activated, and the shuttle's gonna get hit now because there's one of the there we go. One of these things that's flying about hits this payload assist module, and it fires. So they're obviously delicate. Transformers, missiles in disguise. Yes, it is. It is into. So it anyway. So it. Hang on, where are we? Oh, pressing the wrong buttons. There we go. So it it's moving it, by the way. It's still connected to the space shuttle with the robot arm, but it's now, it's the thruster is moving it. So it's all gonna crash into it. Look, no, it's all going wrong. And all the alarms are going off. I said they're not, but they were in my head. But anyway, it's all breaking apart, is the Ikon. And luckily, this space shuttle's made of tough stuff. But we see Roger's got a cut head. He was supposed to be getting into a spacesuit, but he never got a chance. Anyway. Apparently, Donald Sutherland and James Garner both got injured making this film. I can't remember how. I've forgotten. Does it say? I've seen it somewhere. James Garner dislocated his shoulder. So I wonder if that was that bit. Let's go back. There a bit here where there we go. I wonder if it was that bit there where he's holding his shoulder there. I wonder if it was that. And Donald Sutherland cracked a knee. There you go. Right, so anyway, yeah, so it's broke off. It's broke away now because of the thruster thing, and it's moving away from the shuttle. Look. In a cloud of debris. They need Sandra Bullock up there, don't they? Shame they didn't get Shatner for this movie. They wanted Burt Reynolds, of all people. Let's have a look down here. Where are we? There's a list here of people they wanted. Where is it? Oh, pardon me. Hey, dear. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Come on, where is it? Oh, right, here we go, there's another one. Originally, Sean Connery was supposed to play Jerry O'Neill, and Jack Nicholson was supposed to play Tank Sullivan. Don't think they'd have worked, do you? Going on the space shuttle. But no. But there's another one. Where is it? Burt Reynolds as well was supposed to be playing Hawk. I think it was Hawk. I've never seen it. Or did I dream it? I could have dreamt it. Oh, there we go. Burt Reynolds was considered for a role. Although named, it was widely believed to be Tank Sullivan. Sean Connery turned down the role of Frank Corvin, and Alan Armstrong was offered the role of Russian General Vostok. So there we go. Wonder what sort of a film that would have been. Connery would be the perfect for the Soviet era with his amazing Russian language skills. Ene Praneshtiva! Let them sing! Sean Connery would have been awesome. Oh, it would have been awesome, but thought you were going to say Alan Alda. No, Alan Armstrong. He's been in lots of stuff. He were in Krull, and he were in The Mummy Returns with Alan Armstrong. Played one of the baddies in Mummy Returns. You'd know his face if you saw him. Anyway, Ikon is moving away from the shuttle. So they've got to go and get it back. So they're suiting up, they're going out after it. Here we are. Hawk and Frank are going to go out. They've got to go out and fire the PAMs. The one PAM left, I think. Or is it two? Can't remember. But anyway, so off they go. Look. Some of the effects in this are amazing. Some are a bit goofy. There's some coming up here where the grabbing hold here. I don't know why. It just doesn't look that good, but it's fine. So they catch up to it, and they basically they get it settled, so it's not moving. It's not falling to Earth anymore. It's in a stable-ish orbit. So they decide what they've got to do. Lots of little blue tiles. Look, are they supposed to be there? Or I don't know. But anyway. Was there an accident on the blue screen? Don't know. Right, so here we go. This is where they're there we go. They're firing the thrusters to arrest its development, so to speak. But anyway, there we go. So they also notice here that it's lost its solar arrays, so it hasn't got enough power to keep operating, so they've got to get it out of there, basically, or it'll launch the missiles. So basically, they're going to use the missiles. Oh, it's Ethan Glance, isn't it? That's his name. I was saying, who the hell's Glance? But it's Ethan. They find him. Notice he's got a cracked helmet, but it's just the outer bit. I think in the trivia it says this gold here, the space suits were made by the same fellow who did the suits for Armageddon, but the gold here, they found that the best gold stuff that they could find was the stuff that the gold foil that Rolos come in, the chocolate and toffee sweets. It's weird, isn't it? But that's what they used for that. Couldn't they get suits off NASA? Obviously not. But anyway, never mind. Why is that in reverse? Don't know. EVA press, it says. Why is it an off there? Look, it's. Do they look at it with a mirror in real life? I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? It's in reverse. Justin says Connery was good in every movie, even if it was bad. Pretty much, yeah. Excuse me. Sci-Fi Quest says Burt Reynolds, the guy who honestly believes he invented the road movie, despite the many that came before. Damn, now I need to watch Vanishing Point. I'm not a fan of Burt Reynolds. I remember when a kid I went to see Hooper at the cinema back in 1978. I was 11. And I loved it. And then I tried to watch it recently. I think it's on Prime or something like that. I tried to watch it recently, and I couldn't watch it. It was bloody awful. It was just getting on my nerves. But Burt Reynolds. I don't like Burt Reynolds. I think he's shit. But anyway, never mind. Meteor, an underrated classic. It's cool as Meteor with Sean Connery and the late. What's the face? Oh God, I'm blanking. Robert Wagner's wife who drowned. Sean Connery also acted with her sister, Natalie Wood. He also acted with her sister in Diamonds Are Forever. Natalie Wood's sister. It's called something else. Something Wood. I defend League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So do I. I like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That is a good film, and we might do it one day on Magnificent Mondays. I think it is really good. I do. And I don't know why everybody hates it. I think it's really good, is LXG. But what's wrong with Outland? Nothing. Outland is a good film. Is it Outland? Yeah, Outland's... A lot of people say it's in the same universe as Alien, don't they? And is it Soldier, the film with Kurt Russell in, that's in the same universe as Blade Runner? I think it's that way around. Just because of little Easter eggs that are in it. But anyway, where were we? Oh, right, yes, right. So they found Ethan, and he's unconscious. So Hawkins says to Frank, "You get him back to the shuttle. I know what I've got to do." So basically, Hawk's going to sacrifice himself. They're saying, how many Pams have we got left? I think they've only got one left, and that's not enough. Not going to give enough thrust to get it out of Earth orbit into deep space. And so then they just kind of... It just happens. I don't know if there's like a missing scene or a deleted scene, or I don't know. But it's just suddenly... We learned that Frank has hotwired all the nuclear missiles so that Hawk can operate them all at once. Anyway. Outland was awesome. Yeah, it's a good film, is Outland. I liked Soldier when it came out. Gets a bit boring watching it too many times. Well, you shouldn't watch it too many times. I've only seen it once. A long time ago. Loved that film. Anyway, so what he's going to do, this is where they're talking about it. They're going to, hang on, is it going to show it? He's going to rig up a little seat for himself. They're showing, look, doing things. Oh, this is where he's doing it. Is hot wiring the nuclear missiles. So they've got to get him far enough away from Earth. They're going to fire off the engines on the nuclear missiles, so that to push them away from Earth. And but they say you've got to do it so that they don't, got to get far enough away from Earth so that when you separate them, because what are we going to do? I don't know why we're going to do this, but what we're going to do, we're going to separate the nuclear missiles so they head off into space, and so you've got to do it far enough away, otherwise they'll just come back to Earth. And so you've got to do it far enough away. And then he's gonna head for the moon, his hawk. But I don't know why. Why don't you just keep with the missiles and just keep heading out? But anyway, that's what because he wants to go to the moon. League was a good movie. Loved the comic also. I've not read the comic, but LXG is a cool film. I think it was Stephen Norrington's last directorial film, wasn't it? I think he was in director jail for that, wasn't it? I think. Could be wrong. Let's have a look. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, 2003 film. I'm getting old. Stephen Norrington. I'm just curious now. Yes, it was his last film that he directed. I'm sure he did other things. He was supposed to direct. Oh, in 2008, it was announced that Norrington would direct a reboot of the Crow franchise, but obviously that didn't happen until recently. I don't think it had anything to do with that new one. Then in 2010, Norrington was going to direct and write the supernatural action thriller The Lost Patrol, but obviously that never happened either. So according to this, his last film was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Anyway, cool film. We'll do it one day. If I had a choice between LXG and another movie, I'd pick Ghost in the Dance. I've not seen that one. That's the lion one, isn't it? About a lion. Is it Michael Douglas? Or is it... I can't remember. But anyway. Right, so there you go. He's got, what's his face back? He's got Ethan back. And, there, look, there's Roger being ill and weightless. They do a lot of this moving about slowly, like pressing buttons slowly. You just do it normally. You don't need to move, whatever. Anyway, so here he is. He's getting ready. His hawk, because he's going to die. By the way, we know he's dying, so that's why they're saying. They're not heartbroken about it. Essentially, he's the only one that can do it because he's been given 6 months to live or whatever. So he's going to do he's going to go out in a blaze of glory, so to speak. So that's what we're going to do. So here he is, rigged himself at the top of this these Soviet nuclear missiles. There they are. So we're going to fire them. There we go. Frank's hot wired it for you, and so off he's going to go. By the way, they're also we've got another slow bit of. Why are you doing it so slow? Just for dramatic effect. I love Ghost in the Darkness. We'll see. I'll have to see if it's on Prime Video or something like that. Fly him to the moon, let him. We're going to hear that in a bit. I was actually nearly crying. I've done nothing but bloody cry recently with these flaming films. Bloody Cocoon last week, and then Cocoon The Return had to have a break. And at the end of this, I was filling up. But anyway, for some reason, Frank presses the button that activates the nuclear missiles. I don't know why, but anyway. Excuse me. So off it goes. Look, there we go. Off he heads out into space. There he goes. Whee! Just like the Phoenix. heading for the moon. So off he goes. She's obviously Sarah's all sad because she were in love with him. But there you go. Hawk was able to launch the warheads into outer space, and they're just heading off, I suppose. Never mind that they might come back. Everything's moving in space. They might. Gravity still works in space. They might end up coming. Who knows? But I hope they're keeping an eye on them where they're going. Wonder where's Elon's Starman car? The car that he launched. Wonder where that is now. I'm going to look that up now. I'm curious where it is at the moment. Where is the Starman car? Here we go. Where is Starman? Track Elon Musk's Tesla Roadster in space. Right, right. It's where is it? It is 293 million miles away. From Mars, moving away from the planet at a speed of 2,157 miles an hour. Right. The car has exceeded its 36,000 mile warranty. 95,000, nearly 96,000 times. Has it been that long? It's been nearly 7 years. It's been going through space for nearly 7 years. Blimey. Didn't realize it was so far, so long. But yes, it's 293 million miles from Mars. Where's it from Earth? It's 236,000 miles. 236 million miles, sorry, from Earth. Moving away from Earth at a speed of 12,000 miles an hour. Make your mind up. Anyway. And there's a picture of where it is. So it's out beyond the orbit of Mars. I'll show you. There it is, look. If you're interested. There it is, there, look. Beyond the orbit of Mars. So there we go. So it says it's going to head back to Earth there at some point. If it's in that orbit, is it going to crash into Earth? Probably not. Anyway. Where were we? Justin says, Ghost and Dance is excellent. So it's based on is actually very scary. Is it more accurate than Cocaine Bear? I love that film. They need to find it in Orville season 4. Are we going to get an Orville season 4? Some people seem to think we are, but I don't know. Ghost and Dance is available to rent for $3.49. Oh, okay. Well, how much is it to buy though? I don't think I've ever rented anything off Prime. I've always bought stuff. It's based on a true story. Lions were stuffed in a museum in the US. Man Who Would Be King. Yes, it should. That's a really cool film. Man Who Would Be King with Sean Connery and Michael Caine. Really good film, is that? Is it $5.99 to buy? Right. We'll see. Anywho, back to the film. He's launched his warheads into space. We're nearly done. Daedalus, how do you pronounce it? Daedalus. The shuttle, anyway, has got to head back to Earth, but it's damaged. But luckily, it's a tough shuttle. Is this one? So they're gonna fly it back. Roger's wounded. Hawk's not gone, so Frank's got to fly it. Remember, Hawk was the Hawk. Hawk was the ace pilot. So anyway, it's not looking good that they're going to make it. So it's decided that they're going to come down as far as well as they can, and then bail out. So anyway, they're supposedly starting pre-production this month, but it probably burnt. That's true. Yeah, they are Orville, I presume you're on about. But have they got them all back then? Because what's her face? I've forgotten the name. Adrian Padalecki, whatever she's called. Adrian Palecki. I can't remember her name. Last time I spoke to her, she said that she didn't know anything about it or something. But Yes, Orville is very, 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 very good. Anyway, and I hope they do a season 4. Right, so they're heading in, and they're going to bail out. That's the plan. But obviously, that doesn't quite go to plan for everybody. Right, so here we go. I don't think this would work in real life, by the way this shuttle comes in. Because I don't think you can. When you're coming in, you're flying a shuttle or any object that's heading in from orbital speeds. I don't think you can't fly it in. I don't think you can anyway. With a bloody joystick. But anyway, that's what he's doing. Here it comes. Look, there we go. They're turning it round because they're heading in ass first, as William Devane says. But anyway, down in they go. Chewing his gum. Look. Easy, Frank. She's not a fighter jet. But here it comes. There we go. Bit of thrusters and all that stuff. Down it goes. It says to get rid of some of the speed. It says you're going to do some turns. And can you do turns when you're like heading in at like 17,000 miles an hour? I don't know, but it'll just break up, wouldn't it? But anyway, by the way, he's brought his little Hawaiian lady, look. He says she'll dance all the way down. That's what he says. There you go. Here it comes, look. Reentry. And it's coming in too steep. It'll just burn up and break up, wouldn't it, in real life? But anyway, in it comes. We get some cool shots of it coming down. Here we go. There we go. And show it from the front. Does it show it? I might do it in a little bit. And I'm sure I read somewhere, because I don't think it's said in the documentaries, featurettes, is going to show it. So I've gone too far, haven't I? I think, yes, I have. Tell you, bloody skip on this. Where is it? Go back again. When it shows the shuttle coming in, come on, show us. We'll use that. Whatever. I think they used like a metal model of the space shuttle and basically just fired a blowtorch at it, just made it all glow, red hot. So I think a metal, a bronze, a brass, or something, or whatever model of the space shuttle. There are shots of it, but I can't bloody find them. Where the hell is it? There's a good shot of it. Is it that one? Yeah, that one. Yeah, I think it's there we go. I think it's a metal model of the space. I'm sure I read that somewhere or saw it somewhere. But anyway, whatever. You can control the shuttle, but it's not very manoeuvrable due to its weight. Oh, you can once it's in the atmosphere properly, but basically when they're plummeting, like this part of the plummeting to Earth, I don't think you can control it very well, can you? But there's not a lot you can do, is there? But once it gets, past the heating phase, I suppose then you can control it. It's a glider, in it. You can use the flaps and stuff. But I don't think. But anyway, whatever. Don't really matter, does it? For the purposes of the movie, some of the CGI model work in this movie is better than a lot they do today. It is really good. Really good. Really, really good. Because it's a combination, isn't it? It's not just all CGI, but they do some really good stuff. Probably why it's so popular. A lot of people like this film, don't they? Anyway, so they make it anyway. So there we go. Here it comes. It's got through. It's made it through. It hasn't burned up. So here he's bringing it in, but he's coming in too fast to be coming in like a missile. RCS thrusters would do a little to manoeuvre the shuttle. Can't do a lot though, can they? Really, to be honest. But I said, once you're committed, that's it, in it. Once you're committed to a deorbit and all that. But anyway, whatever. That's it. Things aren't as simple as in the movies, are they? Anywho, in it comes. Coming in too steep, and all the tiles are coming off and all that stuff. So I think they're below 200,000 feet or whatever. No, they're below 12,000 feet. Sorry, what am I on about? Below 12,000 feet. So they equalise the pressure and they open the door, blow the hatch, and Jerry basically chucks out the two young uns. Chucks them out. Off they go. Ah! He jumped, didn't he? The other one does as well. I thought they were supposed to be unconscious. Anyway, booted them out. Presume they've got parachutes. Because we never hear from them again. I'm sure they're fine. But there goes the other one. He jumps as well, look. But there was no wrong with them. Anyway, the others decide. He tells the others, just Frank, he says, you bail out as well. And they say, no, we're a team. We're all going in. So in he goes. Here's, there we go, a plane. I think that pilot, I think that's John Hamm. Is it going to show him in again in a minute? Because the shuttle goes bombing past these planes. Look. There we go. He said, you're going in too fast. Hang on. Hey, that was a design for the spacecraft that could take off, enter orbit and land under power around the same time the shuttle was first flown, but got turned down due to costing less to operate. You mean the shuttle cost less? Or do you mean this? I don't know. But anyway. I'm a fan of combination of model work and CG. I think model work is always better than CG, to be honest. I think it always is. You get more detail, can't you? It looks more realistic, doesn't it? But then again, CG is pretty realistic nowadays, isn't it? Practical with CG is always better than all CG. Yeah. Shuttle was more expensive. All right. So they went with the more expensive alternative. That's government spending for you, isn't it? The mental. Obviously, backhanders were going on with Rockwell. Wasn't it? It was Rockwell that built the space shuttle, wasn't it? Probably loads of backhanders going on with him. Anyway, so they're heading in too fast. So he says he's going to pull his nose up or whatever. And basically doing what Hawk did in the simulator earlier on. So in it goes, and it says tapping on the brakes, and it goes flying backwards again. Is it going to show it? Hang on. So we get another look at this pilot. There it goes. There we go. I think that's supposed to be John Hamm, because it says young pilot, and I think this is supposed to be him. His film debut. But anyway, I said putting him into it's going into a stall, but they're fine. Right, so they drop the nose. There we go. How about we put that nose down? There it goes. There on the money. This is actually a real shuttle landing, apparently. But they just CG'd the words Daedalus on the wings and the damage, I suppose. But apparently it's a real shuttle landing. Don't look like one to me, but apparently it is. CG can be good for like a gaseous nebula or something. I disagree. I think the nebulas, what we see in stuff like the Mutara Nebula, which is basically just oil and paint and stuff in it, I think that's better than CG. But anyway, but real things are better in model. Yes, model work is better. Yes, I think that's the consensus. And it was a British design. The shuttle was all American. Oh, that's why they didn't want the other one then. You remember there were a British Planetary Society. They had a spaceship called Daedalus, didn't they? You remember? I think Patrick Moore used to go on about it a lot in the 70s and that. That we were going to go out to Mars or whatever in it or whatever. Anyway, obviously that never happened. Yes, he's the one I mentioned earlier. Anyway. Oh, John Hamm. Is that what you're on? Oh, yes. At the beginning you said there's another super famous person, didn't you? Oh, right. You mentioned John Hamm. You're on about John Hamm. Right. Right. I think that was supposed to be... I don't know. But recently seen in Landman, of course, where he played Monty in Landman. Anyway. Which has just finished its first season and were really good. But anyway, that's by the by. Right, the shuttle, anyway, they land it, and they're all fine and hunky-dory, and there we go, the parachute bit comes out at the back, there we go. That's a real landing, isn't it? Maybe that's real, but maybe that's not. I don't know, but anyway, whatever. So they're down and they're safe, and I think, hang on, that looks just super cool. Why did they get rid of the space shuttle? I don't know. It's an amazing thing. Oh, pardon me. It's an amazing thing. And they should have kept it. But anyway, Starship's cool as well. Right, so they've landed. Yay! They're all happy, look. Hey, they don't look very happy, because he should be going to jail. But I don't know if he does, because the film kind of just ends, sort of. They're all happy. She's sad, obviously, about Hawk. But anyway, and then we cut to the moon. They're back at home, I presume, looking up at the moon. And she says, "Do you think he made it?" And he says, "Yes, I think he made it." And there we go. Yeah, I think he made it. And then we cut to the moon. There we go. Listening to Frank Sinatra. I think it's Frank Sinatra, is it? I don't know. Thinking, "Fly me to the moon," and we zoom in on the moon's surface, and we see some debris on the moon. There we go. What's left of the Ikon, there it is. And here we come round this rock. I'm going to get a copyright claim for this now, by the way. This skipping, but never mind. Where were we? United Kingdom Space Agency needs funding, so we've got a space agency, have we? So we can boost the economy in the UK. We build most of the satellite components, good for the economy. Well, we're supposed to have there was supposed to be a launch, wasn't there, from, was it Cornwall? There was a thing in Cornwall, wasn't there? And there's supposed to be a space port up in Shetland Islands, isn't there? But something went wrong with it, didn't there? And it like there was supposed to be a launch, and it blew up or whatever, or just didn't happen. And so like put the project back, didn't it? Anyway, cut to the moon, and Nazis come out together. Yes, they should do. Looks Nazis on the moon, isn't they? Riding dinosaurs and stuff. Heartwarming movie, yes it is. Anyway, so there we see the MMU. And we come round and we see that it did make it to the moon, alive. How? Dunno. Must have had. He did ask for extra oxygen canisters or whatever. But remember, it took Apollo 3 days to get to the moon. So, what are you going faster than Apollo? I don't know, because they went pretty quick. But anyway. But he made it, and alive, because he's dragged himself over here so he can have a view of the Earth. And now we're actually getting a bit watery-eyed and quivery-lipped, because it is, quite sad. But it's quite sad and amazing at the same time. But anyway, there we go. And we just zoom in on his helmet. We don't see the desiccated corpse of Tommy Lee Jones in there. But and then it just cuts. There we go. Done. Great film, amazing film. You mean whatever? Yeah, that one. And then the nukes explode and send the moon careening across the universe. Yes, because it's September 13th, 1999. Oh dear. Or they explode and release General Zod and Non and Ursa from the Phantom Zone. Oh my, you all watched those movies also, yes. But yeah, on about there's a space spot up in the Scottish Islands up there, up in Orkneys or Shetland or whatever Unst is in. But there were one from Cornwall, wasn't there, where they were supposed to be launching something and it went wrong. And I can't remember what it was, but never mind. But anyway, that film's done. So, amazing film. Watch it. It's, as I said, it's on YouTube. You can rent or buy it on YouTube. You can rent or buy it on Prime. It is available on Blu-ray and all that stuff. So, is it in the Shetlands? All right, fair enough. So give it a watch. It's an amazing film, and with some great acting and a great script. And hang on, let's look at Tommy Lee Jones' dead body for a bit. With a great script, it's funny, and as as Justin says, heartwarming. This is a heartwarming movie. It's just a good movie that all the family can enjoy. It's really, really good. And as I said, good to see some old geezers starring in a film and outshining all the young uns. Really, really good. Can't recommend it high enough. One of the best. It's up there in I don't know, maybe my top 20, maybe. It is up there. Is it? Is it that one? Is it that one? I can't remember. I just remember something going wrong from one of them. They're supposed to launch something and it didn't happen. But whatever. Right, so we're done. We're done and dusted with that. So we'll leave it there. Get rid of that. Pop that up there. Right. So, what's coming up next? You know what? I don't know. I haven't got it. Oh, I do know. Wednesday, I'll be live with my top 5 favourite movies of 1986. There we go. Virgin rocket experiencing an anomaly, failed to launch satellites into orbit from Spaceport Cornwall. There we go. That's what happened, right? I don't know. They were saying it set it back, and I haven't heard anything since. I don't know. Is Virgin Orbit still going, or is he putting all his endeavours into Virgin Galactic? I don't know, but anyway, whatever. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying now. Wednesday, I'm doing my top 5 favourite movies of 1986. I've put up 1967 to 1985 in a video. It's been unblocked. Last time I said it instantly got a blocked copyright claim for just one part of it, and they blocked the entire video. But that's been released. I disputed it, and that's been released. But the copyright claim is still there for other stuff. So never mind. But it's visible. It's visible, so you can still watch it. So anyway. But that's 6 hours long. If you want to watch me waffling on for 6 hours about my top 5 favourite films from each year between 1967 and 1985, it's there. Ooh, right. Wednesday, as I said, Wednesday I'm doing that live stream 1986. Friday, I haven't decided what this week's appointment with theories, and I haven't decided what next week's Magnificent Mondays is yet either. So anyway, I will at some point. Right, so thanks Sci-Fi Quest and Justin 34 and Win Grace, and is that it? Is anybody else popping up I didn't notice? If they did, I apologise. I think that's it, isn't it? Josh Temple was here as well. Harpoon at the ready. But yes, thank you for keeping me company while I talk about this film. Great stream time. What's Friday? Cheers. Let's say I haven't decided what I'm doing Friday yet. I might do a couple of old Hammer films. Shall I? I don't know. We'll see. And Wednesday. Thank you. To quote Cowboy Bebop, see your Space Cowboy. I've never seen that. Not seen the cartoons, and I've not seen the Netflix series either. I was here, yes, I was here. Sorry, that's a song by Nightwish. Not that it's called that, but greatest story ever told. Here, just lurking. Yes, but you're very welcome. Kate Jamiroquai, I don't know. He's talking in funny languages now. I know what Jamiroquai is. Cartoon is great. Don't watch the Netflix. I'm not going to watch either. Hammer films are always good. Yes, I've been thinking I might do I haven't decided which ones yet, but I've got my Hammer box set. Hang on, just a minute. Yeah, got me Hammer box set. So I might just pick a couple at random. We've done Dracula AD 1972. We did that quite a while ago, and put that hammer down. So I might just pick, a couple at random maybe. But there's quite a few in here. quite a few in there. So I might do 2, because sometimes they're not really long, are they? But it depends, we'll see. So I might just pick 2 at random. So we will see. I might do a video where we'll just pick. So we'll do it now, right? Just do it now. What the heck? We're live. So we're picking this Friday's Appointment with Fear films. I have no room. I've no room. So I don't know how many's in. I don't know how many. Hang on. Right, we've got it here. Look. Right. So is there a list? Is there a list? Hang on, can I find something on the internet? Just bear with me. Bear with me. Pick a number, you see, between 1 and whatever, and we'll watch that one. Or shall I just do the reptile? I don't know if that one's in. Let's have a look. What? So I haven't watched all of these that's in here, to be completely honest. I've had this for ages. Right, so where are we? Where's the list? Here we go. Right, where are you? Right, right. She. No, I've not done She. I'm starting here. Right, The Nanny with Bette Davis. Dracula, Prince of Darkness. The Plague of the Zombies. The Reptile. Yes, that's there. Right, we're doing The Reptile. Thank you, Sci-Fi Quest. We will do The Reptile. How long does it go on for? It doesn't say. Certificate X. But yes, we'll do that one. We'll do The Reptile. If it's only a short one, I don't know how long it is. Let me look. Hammer the Reptile. Put movie in and then just think of thingy. Right, how long is it? How's it going for? 90 minutes. Oh, that's decent length, I suppose. Decent length. Right, we're doing that then. So let's have a look through and see if there's anything else that maybe we could do a double bill of. Something similar. Maybe animal based. No, they didn't. Hang on, what's that one? No. Nothing else that really go with The Reptile. Shall we do Plague of the Zombies? Shall we do both of them? Because they've both got Jacqueline Pearce in. Yeah. Jacqueline Pearce famously played Servalan in Blake 7. Just bear with me. Plague of the Zombies. There we go. 1966 British films. They're both from the same year. Yes, we'll do them. And that one is 90 minutes as well. There we go. That's what we're doing on Friday. I've decided. Well, Sci-Fi Quest has half decided for me. Attack of the Crowd. I haven't even got that one. So we're going to do on Friday. Let me find them in here. We're going to do. But it's not even bloody in here. Not even in this one. No, not in that one. It is a good box set, I must admit. It is a good box set. I've no room. I need a bigger table. Plague of the Zombies. There we go. So we're doing that. There it is. Why is it upside down? Why are you upside down? Get right way up. So we're going to do Plague of the Zombies. Oh, where are we? There we go. There we go. And The Reptile, which is obviously in a different thing to this. So, yeah. There it is. And The Reptile. Looks cool, just with a picture on the disc. Right, so that's Friday. If I just put that back, do I need this one? Is it this one? Yeah, that one. You know what? I'm not sure if I've probably seen The Reptile. I've definitely seen Plague of the Zombies. I've not actually watched all these that's in this box set, and I've had it for years, but I've never got around to watching all of them. I'm not sure if I've seen The Reptile, but anyway. Anywho, That's what we're doing this Friday with some old classic Hammer flicks. Stay there, don't fall off. Right. So that's what we're doing on Friday. Nice, sounds like a scary good time. A double bill, yay. Right, we'll leave it there and going now. Going out to get some supper. But Aidan, my son, says I'm not allowed to order. Boo. So I have to make something. Fed up. Right, so thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll say this.